The Manhwa SSS class Suicide Hunter begins, brought to you by Asura Scans. Breaking news: the Black Dragon Guild challenges Babylon's 40th floor. They're confident in their top-class skills. The Black Dragon Guild's failure is due to the #1 ranked hunter. It seems Flame Emperor beat the boss again, solidifying his top rank. The media swarms Flame Emperor, congratulating him for his solo clear. He's still the only one to clear a boss by himself since the tower appeared. Suddenly, Flame Emperor grabs the microphone. He demands they change his title before congratulating him. The main character scoffs at Flame Emperor's name, saying it's embarrassing and envies him. The main character angrily vows to torture the person who gave him the nickname. He is sorry to have let him speak. The commenter says they want to be like Flame Emperor too. People online find that to be odd. People are whispering rumors online about Saint and Flame Emperor dating. Others refute it with their own evidence. The main character fumes as he furiously types, "I want to be like Flame Emperor too." The Flame Emperor stands atop the defeated boss with his glowing sword. The main character suddenly thinks to himself that he would only ever be an extra. Newspapers are scattered around, all highlighting Flame Emperor's incredible feats. Flame Emperor sighs as a reporter shoves a microphone into his face. Flame Emperor drops the microphone and walks away. He tells everyone to figure it out themselves. The man warns, "Don't get in my way even if you succeed, or I'll kill you." The crowd is shocked. They question if it's really Flame Emperor. The broadcast ends as Flame Emperor's words echo in everyone's minds. "What did you mean by that?" The main character's hand clenches in anger. He's kneeling, his head bowed with tears streaming down his face. Looking at the phone, tears welling up in his eyes, he thinks, "I'm so mad." He wonders if it's okay to ignore people when you're that great, like Flame Emperor. He wishes he had just one skill. The main character thinks he wouldn't live in this studio if he was like Flame Emperor. The main character is overcome with jealousy. He wants his own skills too. He collapses onto the newspaper-covered floor. How great would it be? The main character stands up and suddenly sees a bright light outside the window. He sees a popular video. The girl dances with a caption, "A scene I've only seen in videos." A bright golden card appears before him. Could it be a skill card? A surge of envy rises in the main character. A game notification appears. The tower is astonished by your unsightly envy and throws you a skill. He says, "Huh." Staring at the card, the main character wonders, this is different from the videos. He disregards the game's tone since he finally got a skill card. "This is it," he declares. The narrator exclaims, "Is an S-rank skill." A bright light emanates from the card. The card displays, "I want to become like you," with an S+ rank. Tears stream down his face as a question mark appears. "However, you die." Above, the main character holds the card, bewildered. Below, the text reads, "What kind of skill is this?" Chapter 10 of SSS class Suicide Hunter begins. She nervously invites Gongya inside, apologizing for the state of her home. Suddenly, a muscular man appears behind her. Isabel gestures, self-consciously saying her workspace is very shabby indeed. The muscular man's jaw drops as he exclaims, "Wow." He stares in disbelief at the room's chaotic state. This place definitely seems sanitary. The muscular man is shocked to find out about the potion's cost of 20k gold. He then questions Gongya's beliefs. Gongya asks if he should pay up front. Isabel is stunned but then admits she would prefer it. Gongya notes her financial straits. Isabel agrees to the upfront payment, saying she needs as much gold as possible. She asks what potions he wants. Isabel firmly declares she won't make illegal drugs, no matter what the offer is. Isabel assures Gongya the potions aren't drugs to his relief. She then asks about the commission. Isabel relents, admitting Isabel might not be skilled, but she'll give him the recipe. She tells him to listen closely, she'll only explain it once. The liver of a rabbit pig. Isabel rattles off the bizarre list of ingredients needed for the potion. Eyes of a balloon cat, skin of a giant desert worm. He confirms that's all the ingredients. He elaborates that production depends on the pharmacist's skill. An exclamation appears next to his face. She elaborates that it's a high-level recipe to mix all ingredients at once. He agrees it's the right way to do it. The muscular man agrees with a "that's right" as Isabel replies, "Of course." She clarifies that effects vary depending on refinement. These kinds of experts exist. She states she can make it in 4 days given enough money. Normally, she could make it. She sighs that she could make it sooner but needs to buy equipment. Meanwhile, the crowd grows impatient. "Come on in." He grins, thinking 4 days is nothing. Isabel looks confused at his confident response. The sword master declares he still doesn't approve of Isabel. He thinks it's wasted money. He asks where she learned it. She replies she invented it herself after drinking poisons. He smirks, she called it high level. The sword master pauses, reflecting. She was able to recognize the recipe's true worth immediately. Isabel carries boxes after 4 days. It took longer than expected, trying out various combinations. He recalls Isabel originally saying it would take 4 days. Isabel then says there are 3 boxes with 30 potions each. He smirks, it will be enough for about 30 days. Isabel is confused by his antics. Isabel asks if it's okay to ask why commission a pharmacist like her. She's confident but still. She thinks only a few people in Babylon can make it, but everyone treats her badly. A mysterious voice questions their motivation as a woman suggests rescue. Apparently, Isabel was the first one to the scene during the city fire. Some think she's dating the Flame Emperor. He realizes she's skillful, kind, and a good judge of character. It would be a loss to not get close. She asks him to repeat himself, and he says he helped because she's kind. He states that he believes good hunters should succeed so they can help each other. Gongya recalls that Isabel might be more honest than the sword master. He agrees it's true. They shake hands in agreement. Isabel declares they need success to change the world. Isabel is happy with their business deal and tells Gongya to call anytime. Gongya replies he'd love nothing more. Gongya smiles, seemingly satisfied with their deal. However, the sword master questions what good hunters have to do with this. Gongya decides to train with the sword master on the 3rd floor. He realizes these orcs are too much for him to handle. He ponders what he should do. The sword master suggests that he drink the potion first. Gongya opens the potion. It makes a clear *click sound. He takes a swig of the potion. He raises an eyebrow and notes its surprisingly normal taste of lemon and honey. Gongya is shocked by the potion. He cries out, questioning what is happening to him. He stumbles, the effects of the potion taking hold. He gasps, overwhelmed by the sudden transformation. Gongya cries out in pain as the potion's effects start to overwhelm him. Gongya's senses sharpen. He can feel every detail and count every hair. He suddenly feels the potion affecting him. His senses are overloaded. He hears a voice asking, "Can you not feel it?" He asks what they are talking about, as a monstrous form stands behind him. Gongya's heart races as the potion surges through him. He feels something changing within. Gongya realizes he's feeling the flow of aura within him. The sword master's voice echoes with an eerie hee-hee. He explains that how well Gongya controls the aura will be the deciding factor. Gongya clutches his head in agony. Gongya struggles, barely holding on. The sword master sinisterly states that meditation would take 2. He stumbles through a grassy area, clutching his head as he struggles with the aura. Gongya, overwhelmed, is warned to run from the mutated orc, Kim zombies. Here begins Chapter 11 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter, translated by Reaper Scans. The orc towers over Gongya, threatening him to release his aura. "Someone like you needs to train firsthand," it says. Gongya spits out, "God damn ghost." The orc says, "Huh, I can't understand you, loser, can't even use aura." The orc grins sadistically, asking if Gongya is in pain. "If you don't like it, just kill yourself," it shouts. The orc continues to approach, letting out a deafening ho ho ho. Gongya yells, slow, as he clenches his fist. Gongya realizes that the potion is working, but something is still wrong. Gongya spits out a voice encourages him to dodge. "You can dodge it, don't give up." Gongya grits his teeth, willing his legs to move. Easier said than done. Energy surges through Gongya's body, revitalizing him with renewed vigor. He leaps forward, attempting to dodge. Gongya manages to dodge the orc's attack in the nick of time, shouting, "I dodged it." Gongya is shocked that he dodged. A voice says, harder than expected, right? The orc explains Gongya's body is a small path, not a highway for aura. Thanks to the potion, Gongya can feel the aura. He would feel terrible otherwise. The orc is shocked, thinking, that girl may have poor sanitation but her skills are first-rate. The orc reels back, roaring in frustration. Gongya stares up in disbelief, catching his breath. The orc declares he will turn Gongya's small path into a highway. Gongya knows the swordmaster is right, but he's frustrated. The orc's aura surges. Gongya realizes that his path is weak and overgrown. The sword master smirks, enjoying Gongya's predicament. He recalls Gongya's death at the hands of Sword King. The sword master thinks that was the skill of someone only from neighborhood streets. He still has a long way to go. The orc's massive swing connects, sending Gongya flying through the air. Gongya is sent flying, crashing through trees. He grits his teeth, feeling the full force of the orc's attack. Where will he land? The swordmaster is smug, thinking, would you look at that? Meanwhile, Gongya rolls along the ground. From afar, the swordmaster sarcastically compliments Gongya's unexpected and desperate creativity. Amidst the chaos, Gongya is sent reeling from the orc's powerful strike. Despite the impact, Gongya manages to survive the blow. He's determined to counterattack and turn the tides. As Gongya prepares to face the orc, a voice echoes, don't let your guard down till the end. The sword master tells Gongya to focus his aura on the blade. He thinks it will be hard though, since orcs have thick skin. The sword master commands him to pour his aura into the blade's tip, as Gongya yells out in frustration and effort. Gongya desperately pours his aura into the blade's tip, ready to strike. Gongya is screaming in immense pain. The orc's attack lands with a resounding crash. The orc's blade pierces Gongya's shoulder and the sword master asks, does it hurt? The orc's blade pierces Gongya. He hears the sword master's mocking words. I bet it really fucking hurts. The sword master's words echo in Gongya's mind as he coughs, calling him an asshole. Despite Gongya's failure, the sword master compliments his use of his head. Gongya thinks he wants the pain to make him stronger, but it doesn't work. The orc asks if he feels like he's going to die. Gongya cries out in pain. The sword master coldly says, so you'll feel fine if you die. The sword master states that Marcus meditates with the potion, not fights. He mocks Gongya's return by death. The sword master continues to berate Gongya's efforts, saying he's jealous of his normal body. He calls him zombie. The sword master wants Gongya to use a method to not increase his kill counter. The sword master smirks, thinking Gongya got the hang of aura quickly. He needs to die more. Gongya is about to die again. First death, let's go, he thinks. The screen declares you have died. Gongya clutches his head, cursing. My head hurts, he cries. Wow. Gongya and the sword master are in a strange place. What is this? Gongya exclaims. You're here as well. Gongya hears a voice echoing, saying he will return 24 hours back. He recalls his death. The condition for Gongya's skill has been fulfilled by his death. A skill was also copied. Gongya is revived, but something is off. The sword master exclaims, monsters also have skills, what the fuck? The screen says this skill is a super cheatlike skill. It tells him to select a skill card. Chapter 12 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter is upon us. Let's dive in. After being returned, Gongya is furious and wonders who supervises the tower. Gongya thinks this will shatter the hunter meta, now holding a skill card he found. He says, I'll just pick whatever. The sword saint is surprised by Gongya's choice. Gongya brushes it off, stating it's all a matter of luck anyway. The sword saint questions how Gongya doesn't know which skill card to pick. He exclaims, seriously, do you not get what I'm saying? Gongya is frustrated that he can only see the back of the skill cards. Gongya is shocked that he can now see the fronts of the skill cards. He realizes that the skill cards always show their backs to him. The sword saint claims to have always had good eyesight, now possessing true sight. He shouts, Eureka. He shouts in excitement, triggering sword saint. Sword saint yells, questioning why Gongya is shouting. Gongya responds dismissively, stating whatever. Sword saint agrees to reveal the skill cards, but says he'll only read them once. The card is called Blessing of Reproduction, an F-rank skill with a catch, constant heat, TCHWIK. An orc wearing a flex hat says to also take a sip of the TCHWIK. Gongya looks shocked by the skill's nature. Sword Saint claims Gongya would have picked the TCHWIK card. Gongya dismisses it as garbage. Sword Saint desperately pleads with Gongya to reconsider his choice, but Gongya remains firm in his decision. Sword Saint smiles, claiming Gongya is thinking the same thing. A skill copies. Gongya dramatically shouts "Nuwu" as Sword Saint yells in triumph, "Yes." Gongya jolts awake in his studio, a blue screen stating his F-rank status. Gongya notices a message stating, "There is no penalty for the skill usage." Gongya enjoys Sangryan's hospitality. Sword Saint regrets missing the copying chance and asks to hunt. Gongya confidently states, "All right, I don't see any problems." Sword Saint thinks hard. Sword Saint suggests training in the lotus position, stating it hurts less to die. He suggests heading to floor 3 to train. The scene shifts to the 3rd floor as Sword Saint shouts, "Can you not hear me?" Gongya chugs down a potion. Sword Saint cheerfully calls Gongya Sword Emperor, as Gongya asks about the lotus position. Gongya swings his sword thinking, "You call me zombie when you have the advantage." Gongya and Sword Saint encounter orcs with one questioning Gyuruk. They begin fighting the orcs. The Sword Saint thinks that Gongya's movements are slow again, and Gongya shouts. As skills are activated, an orc with a massive axe questions, TCHWEK. We see Gongya, surprised, also shout TCHWEK. They both shouted TCHWEK simultaneously, as the orc's abilities activated suddenly. The orc coughs up green liquid, yelling TCHWE. Gongya and Sword Saint are slammed into the ground by the blast. Sword Saint is frustrated and calls Gongya a cheater. He then accuses him of tricking innocent orcs. An orc bellows that the innocent orcs of the world are getting hurt by dirty humans. Angered by this, he shouts, TCHWEK. Chapter 13 of SSS class Suicide Hunter begins here. What awaits our hero? 1 week has passed and a goblin thinks deeply about his choice. He is the floor 5 boss monster, Goblin King Goruk. Gongya walks through a dark corridor, his red eyes glowing with determination, power crackling around him. Gongya activates a skill to deal with the Goblin King. The Goblin King screams as something appears. A screen appears reading Goblin High Society with a rank of F. Goruk is shocked. Goruk screams in disbelief, "Speak the perfect language of the king." Red and green energy surround him. Gongya stands over the Goblin King's corpse. "You were the strongest enemy I'd faced all week." He pauses, "Bull fucking shit." The nameless hunter yells after the emotionless Gongya. He's upset for receiving 6 coins. Am I not allowed to feel? The screen shows Gongya's stats with his current life count. 1 coin equals 1 life. I'm stating facts, was that even a fight? Gongya is surprised he wasted 5 lives to copy such a useless skill. It's absurd. As Gongya walks away, the Goblin King yells about the differences between humans and goblins. Gongya stops, "Excuse me." Suddenly a man appears before Gongya, ready to fight. Gongya is shocked by a new notification. What do you mean by? Gongya stands face to face with the man. Suddenly a screen appears, level UP. Finally, a notification appears stating, "Your skill slots have expanded." Gongya smiles as a screen announces, "You are now an E-rank hunter." He thinks to himself, "Finally." A screen tells him, "May fortune be with you." He's confused, was it Sparks? The buff man behind Gongya claims the level up effects are for show. Gongya is confused. It's a type of hint. The system warns that the aura is foretold by level up effects. The man remarks, "Flame Emperor's was fire." The buff man continues, claiming auras reflect defining moments, a subconscious reflection. Is this a hint about Gongya's skill? The buff man says Gongya is either fire or blood. Gongya asks about the Sword Saint's aura. A flashback begins. As a child, the Sword Saint got lost in the mountains. The buff man declares they're going to floor 6. Someone asks why they can't raid floor 10. Someone else calls him overconfident. The buff man promises it's not about just appearances. Do you know how many great hunters have wasted years on floor 10? The hunter's tone changes as he makes an offer. However, I have a condition. Who's the man making demands from? Gongya asks the buff man to honestly reveal the floor 10 boss's skills. The buff man agrees to the condition. Also, Gongya smiles, if I win you have to. The buff man smirks, calling Gongya a chicken for being afraid of floor 10. The buff man yells at Gongya, thinking his skill is the only reason he wins. He makes a bet about floor 10. The buff man asks if Gongya has a delusion skill. Both men laugh menacingly at each other. The buff man laughs menacingly. The woman looks on, thinking he's gone crazy. A guard in full armor stands before a gate. He sternly declares, "You may not." The buff man asks, "Why is that?" to Gongya's challenge to the floor 10 boss. Gongya questions the guard's reasoning. The guard apologizes and explains its protocol to record all entering hunters. Gongya thinks that he'll be a heartless bastard. The buff man doesn't understand the hunter association. Gongya turns to the guard, "Mr. Guard, I appreciate your hard work and what you're saying is right." He thinks, "To be honest, I really do want to commit suicide." The armored guard questions Gongya's remark. The buff man is surprised too. He reveals his tragic past. He continues, "But here's the thing. I might be the lowest tier, but I'm still a hunter." Gongya hands the armored guard a bag of money. He says he saved it for treatment. The guard agrees to erase his entry. The buff man calls them both dumb. The armored guard is gone and Gongya stands before the large gate of floor 6. A hunter behind him asks, "Does it matter how, as long as I reach floor 10? Floor 10, a large mansion looms. Have they reached their destination? They enter the mansion of floor 10. Text appears, a floor that should have been cleared by Yu Suha. They are suddenly launched upward as the floor beneath them disappears. Chapter 15 of SSS class Suicide Hunter begins. A butterfly pleads, "Mister, I'm hungry," as a girl asks for bread. Merchants gossip, seeing an increase in begging children due to the growing famine in this world. "Just a slice of bread," says a child. A wealthy merchant wonders where all the beggars are coming from. A little girl bumps into a man, wincing and apologizing. The merchant grabs the girl's shoulder, asking if she has parents. He notices her hunger and aching body. The girl looks terrified as the merchant grins, offering help. "Come with me," he says, revealing his mansion nearby. Behind a metal gate, the girl asks the merchant when she can play outside. The girl trapped behind the gate cries, "I'm so hungry." The merchant smiles and says, the merchant claims he knows orphans very well, as another is locked up. The merchant, a self-proclaimed doctor, states that he removes diseases as he approaches with a knife. "Sacrifice yourself." The guards shout that the children are the cause of the famine. The hooded man declares, "I will save this land by sacrificing you to God." As the captured children sob in despair, the mob outside demands their blood. Above the cages, manic laughter echoes as guards say they need more sacrifices. Bent over, the main character finds weapons and blood on the floor. In the cage, a boy cries out, "Why?" Gongya finds himself in a strange place and asks, "Wow, shit, what is this?" to himself. He wonders if the sword master can see this. The man is shocked, yelling, "How dare they sacrifice innocent children?" Recalling the trauma of killing the enemy, Gongya realizes monsters can be human. Boss monsters are formed from the other world's heroes. Gongya questions why he wasn't told. It becomes clearer from the 11th floor onwards. Sword Master says, "You didn't ask." But then Gongya says he's hungry because it's his first time experiencing the original. He states that he only knew the sacrificed were from another world. Gongya says, "Fucking sucks seeing it with my own eyes." Gongya watches as the mansion erupts in flames. A panicked man shouts to quickly escape the mansion. A man shouts to carry jewels on your way. Another man demands, "Right now, aren't you forgetting something?" Screams echo, there are kids in the basement. Trapped and chained, Gongya wonders, can this get any worse? Amidst the inferno, children cry for help. No, anyone there. It's hot, kind mister. The mansion burns with the words, "Play a little bit," appearing above the flames. Gongya sits, recalling the tragedy. The redhead enters and pauses. Gongya states that nothing can be done about the situation. Sword Master is shocked, asking if that's the first thing he'll say. Gongya says he's trash. The Sword Master says if this was the tower, he could die countless times. But in this world it can't be solved. He says find the real doll and kill it and climb to the 11th floor. Memories of the floors flash by 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th. He thinks of what Yusuha would do. The redhead hesitates. Gongya replies, so what? I don't want to be like that bastard. Sword Master asks his plan. Outside the mansion, Sword Master wonders if Gongya is a child. In a room, Gongya asks who decided this. Looking up in realization, Gongya shouts, damn it, I was a fool, as he knows that he didn't know anything from the beginning. Sword Master scoffs, remembering Gongya's insistence on the S-class skill. Of course I remember. Still chained, the Sword Master states that nobody can escape this hell without permission. He asks if Gongya finds that odd. Gongya says it was the last part. The Sword Master claims no one escapes this hell without permission. The witch questions how the guild survived without killing the boss. There's only one answer, of course. The boss gave permission to escape. The stage is impossible. Looking down, Gongya sees children. He wonders what the children are doing, and then a voice says, the boss only wants one thing, play. Two doll-like children ask Gongya to play with them. He simply responds, sure. He prepares to play with the children. The skill Be Wary of Fire activates. The mansion is ablaze. Someone chuckles ominously, watching the inferno. Doll-like children remark that Gongya isn't burning. One wonders if it's hot. He smiles, agreeing to play with them. The children think Gongya is weird as he starts counting. He tells them to hide. Chapter 16 of SSS class Suicide Hunter begins, as the credits roll. Gongya stands with the Sword Saint who says, clearing hidden stages wasn't easy, even for me. The Sword Saint tells Gongya he wouldn't understand since he is not human. The Sword Saint sighs, saying, well, humans are all the same. The Sword Saint throws his hands up, yelling, whatever, I can't talk about stuff like this. The Sword Saint puts a hand on Gongya's shoulder, congratulating him for clearing the boss. He suspects Gongya is being suspicious. Sword Saint tells Gongya that since they are partners, they should rejoice together. Light explodes around them. Fireworks explode as a system message appears. The 11th floor opens in 24 hours. Players on different floors notice the fireworks. Someone asks if anyone else heard about the 10th floor being cleared. The countdown begins. Players start discussing the 10th floor clear in the chat. The timer shows 23:59:58. Gongya stares at the fireworks outside, remembering this exact scene from a past life. He reflects, this is my second time. The online forum buzzes with activity. One user states it's not the Black Dragon Guild. Another user mentions executives on the first floor cafe are not the culprits either. Someone says Sword Saint is drinking milk next to them, causing confusion online. Gongya under the fireworks says, it feels amazing. He's holding a phone, smiling at the screen. Sword Saint says, don't get it wrong, you barely cleared the 10th floor. Sword Saint mutters, I know, while others call out for Sir Hunter. He appears to question if it was Gongya. A distant figure yells, what are you talking about? Someone shouts, that cleared the 10th floor. The hunter replies that only he challenged it. The hunter in armor grabs Gongya, asking what he will do about it. Gongya walks away, confused. Gongya responds, I don't have one. The armored figure laughs, ha, look at his face. Sword Saint interrupts, announcing that he just realized something. He asks Gongya what floor he wants to go to. Sword Saint looks menacing, grinning and suggesting they cleared the 10th floor with 2 coins. Gongya, we're partners. A bright light flashes as an ultimatum is given, for the rest of your life. People in a coffee shop are discussing who cleared the 10th floor. Some suspect Sword Saint. Confused, Gongya says, I can't hear you, are my earphones broken? He hears someone calling him names. Sword Saint's eyes widen as he shouts for someone to kill him. He questions Gongya's formal address, now that they can talk casually. The Sword Saint yells internally about needing a new skill. He drinks while Gongya is confused. That's a big decision. A voice rings out, commenting that only half remains before the next floor. A cat thinks to itself that a big shot would come to find it. Gongya picks it up. Someone approaches Gongya, asking if he is Hunter Kim Gongya. Gongya thinks to himself how long it took. Gongya smiles, his hunter ID on display. Elsewhere, a group declares they've found him right in front of the bank cafe. Another recruiter says he won't let another guild take him. The recruiter tries to convince Gongya to join his guild. Another interjects, asking him not to leak his name. An executive's hand gestures for patience. Gongya waits in a cafe, hoping to avoid reporters until midnight. Two people discuss that it's fine if they don't go to the 11th floor. They say it is for second. Someone drinking coffee demands an apology. Elsewhere, someone from the bureau wants to rent the cafe. A recruiter approaches Gongya saying, "Let's start. Please tell me your conditions." It is the start of Chapter 17 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter. The hero acknowledges the other person's comment, stating he has guts and can even see ghosts. The man stutters, asking if 500,000 gold is too much for clearing floor 10. The Countess asks if he's finished talking. Looking relieved, the man says yes. She orders him to bring his bosses before he excuses himself. The Countess declares that only those who can bet higher than 500,000 gold may stay. Gongya shouts "fucking cat," sensing the presence of something says he's here. Viper, also known as Chen Mumun, rank 5 guild master, curses and realizes he's a step behind. The rank 4 guild master of 10,000 temple admits it's their mistake. The rank 8 vice guild master says mistake isn't the right word. The Black Witch remains silent. A muscular man says welcome. Everyone here are high rankers. The Crusader is shocked by the amount. The heretic interrogator suggests they order coffee first to calm down. Countess says that it's rude to not order at a cafe. She asks everyone what they would like to order. A cold cafe latte sounds good. Hazelnut latte, hot, extra shot, grand. Someone wants a hot Americano. The others are annoyed they're ordering coffee at this time. The long list of coffee orders continue. The barista looks overwhelmed while trying to keep up. Gongya wonders if this whole ordeal is to make him lose composure. The guild masters have all gathered. The hero acknowledges the advice, stating that their attempts are nothing compared to being burned alive. He decides to show them relaxation. Someone asks for a menu, another changes their mind to a hot chocolate. One thinks they aren't afraid because. Someone internally curses, realizing the situation is bad. The man states he won't release Gongya, he was never really inactive. Countess closes her fan, saying he has luck, guts, and probably skills too. Countess thinks to herself she has kept a route open from the outside world, but it isn't enough. She needs something new. They need a way to positively show the tower to the outside world, like Flame Emperor. He understands that the guild that catches him will be the new symbol. The other guilds will act as lackeys. Countess declares they should do this. Gongya pulls out playing cards. He wonders if this is what they meant by relaxation. Gongya proposes they play poker. He doesn't need money or positions. If he wins, he'll join all their guilds at once. Gongya confidently says he'll only be a guild member in name. Countess slams her fan and finds it amusing, agreeing to his terms. The man with white hair claims he's fine as long as there are no tricks. The man with an eye patch says not to use their skills. The Crusader states his guild is poor. Countess accepts Gongya's proposal. He holds his cards and the Sword Master calls him Sword Emperor. The Sword Master tells Gongya to call him that until the end of the game. Gongya smiles, holding his cards while others cheer for his generosity. All right, shall we begin? Chapter 18 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter is here. Let's see what Gongya will do. The dealer warns Gongya his hand is a very strong hand, maybe it's time to fold. But Gongya is planning something else. The dealer demands Gongya call, confident in his hand. Gongya confidently calls while knowing what's in store. Gongya smiles, pushing all his gold into the pot. He's going all in, whatever he is planning is about to happen. The dealer rages, he's lost every round. He accuses Gongya of cheating, demanding if he has any evidence. Gongya says he could be a poker master and would feel bad if accused without evidence. Someone comments that he's not an F rank. Gongya realizes he knew something was up, he just didn't know what. The heavenly gates opens. A man offers an espresso, but Gongya refuses. Gongya screams, saying he knows he has to overcome it. The dealer throws his cards down in defeat. He asks if Gongya is cheating. He's thinking of ways Gongya could be cheating, calling new hunters tough. The dealer is yelling, wondering how he gave up easily. The dealer is furious, calling Gongya a cheater, but someone points out Gongya must be using a skill. He knew it all along. Someone wonders how a newbie would bet everything on luck alone. It'd be weird to not notice, he thinks. I will deal the cards. He thinks if Gongya challenged them in a game, it's to hide his skill, and they accepted the challenge. The other players question Gongya's pride, but the knight rebuffs, saying pride doesn't bring food. It feeds you espresso. The dealer angrily shouts at Gongya, but Gongya smiles while holding some cards. I'm glad. Why? The dealer sighs, saying he thought Gongya was reasonable. He reveals he's from Ukraine, or what's left of it. Gongya thinks that whether it's here or the outside world, it's no place for a girl to live alone. You're right. Gongya thinks that people in the tower have stories and that he's a normal orphan. He hears someone has a diamond flush. The Ukrainian dealer explains that in the tower, origins don't matter. Viper, also known as Chen Mumun, is Chinese. In the tower, origins don't matter. Everyone can understand each other's words. The outside world thinks of us as a garbage can. The woman states that a rose can bloom from compost. A clock shows 180917, Kim Gongya. The woman tells Gongya to choose wisely. Gongya smiles, replying good. The black dragon leader has a flush. Gongya knows he can't win. He's all in and confident. Gongya declares he'll clear the 20th, 30th, 50th, and 100th floor. He will reach the top of the tower. A woman states she'll think of them as rivals. One of them states that he'd prefer to see the world beyond the tower. He doesn't know about the famine or poverty here. Gongya states, but please help me in climbing this tower. He wants the feeling of being at the top. The woman sighs, laying her cards down. She acknowledges that he's like Sword Saint. Is that a compliment? She asks. They call him greedy. Kim Gongya is the final winner with a full house. Gongya thanks them, then demands to be treated as equal. He's then asked if he can handle the responsibility. Chapter 19 of SSS class Suicide Hunter begins, promising more trials and tribulations. With no official word on the 10th floor clear, people discuss Sword Saint's denial. The crowd murmurs and there's nothing on the news. Someone adds, the guild masters gathered yesterday. The crowd yells, seeing the countdown ticking. Only 11 seconds left until the barrier disappears. Now the timer shows only 10 seconds. The countdown continues. People scream with 9 seconds, then only 8 seconds remain. The crowd counts down the seconds. Someone frantically searches 10th floor cleared on their phone. The countdown hits 1 second as a breaking news report flashes. Kim Gongya cleared the 10th floor. The crowd cheers as the news breaks. Gongya smiles, his announcement clear. As of today, the tutorial has ended. He repeats, as of today, the tutorial has ended. The 11th floor opens. A golden angel appears declaring, "Congratulations on resolving the Hellfire residence." The main character clarifies, "Wake up, that's not a goddess, it's just a system." He asks, "Is it like an NPC?" Someone questions, "But how do you know that?" A muscular man replies, That's because." The mysterious muscular man is cut off as a voice tells him, "Say transmit." Suddenly, a massive burst of energy explodes outward, cutting off the muscular man. The sword saint is blown back, the force intense. "If you want to accept this," a mysterious voice echoes. The golden angel figure orders, "Mission say transmit." Suddenly she disappears, fading away. The crowd is stunned, realizing what? It was a hologram. Gongya realizes, "I did that in the past too, see, it's an NPC." The man then demands, "Transmit." The heretic interrogator smirks, a strange phrase on his lips. "Then I'll see everyone on the 11th floor, transmit," he announces. The crowd shouts, "Transmit." A message appears, "Warriors, climbers of the tower." The golden angel repeats, "Transmit." The system declares that from the 11th to 20th floor there's a test of faith. It declares, "You must find your answer." A voice echoes in Gongya's mind, "You must know yourself." Someone questions, "What a shame, a shame." It orders him to think about it. Someone thinks, "Whoever made the tower put a lot of effort in it." The knight retorts, "You're unexpectedly a sensitive person." She adds, "I majored in music in the outside world." A voice warns, "Be careful, this human is suspicious." Kim Gongya sighs, What now?" Someone asks if he is the hunter. He realizes they're the center of attention. The heretic interrogator says, "Sorry, I'll see you on the 11th floor." The reporters swarm Kim Gongya. An armored knight interjects, "It's because I have the ability to read people." Kim Gongya is stunned. The knight tells him the answer is in his heart. "Transmit," she adds. She runs away. Someone yells that she was suspicious. Reporters bombard Gongya with questions about clearing the 10th floor and his guild affiliations. The manhwa is titled SSS Class Suicide Hunter, Chapter 2. Let's get into this story. Suddenly, a tower appeared in the world without any warning. A father and son stare at the strange new structure. A lucky few who entered the tower were chosen and received a skill. Soon, everyone was hunting monsters. But the Flame Emperor is here. He's smiling at the fight and looks confident. He is ready to take on the monsters. As Flame Emperor walks by, the main character clutches his head in pain, groaning. He's suddenly overwhelmed and lets out a scream. Others around him are worried, asking the Flame Emperor to move. But he smirks, stating, "Wow, nice acting." The Flame Emperor reveals to Saint that he knew the drink was poisoned. He even identifies the poison as basilisk stomach acid. He states he almost fell for the trap. Saint is blasted away, claiming it was all a misunderstanding. She says she only wanted to clear the tower together. He thinks he was also fooled, but was wrong as Saint tries to explain. Flame Emperor grabs Saint by the neck. He states that he'll ask the questions, she only needs to nod. Flame Emperor demands to know who ordered her to kill him. He suspects it's the witch from the Black Dragon Guild. Flame Emperor's grip tightens on Saint's neck. He coldly states, "That's what I thought." Flame Emperor coldly bids farewell to Saint, now revealed as Isabel. She falls, screaming. As Isabel falls away, the main character suddenly awakens and yells, "Hero." Flame Emperor turns around, asking, "That thing," as the main character yells insults. The main character struggles, yelling that he needs to get out of wherever he is. Flame Emperor asks, as the main character looks up with shock. Flame Emperor smirks, saying there was still one rat left to take care of. The main character has murderous eyes. As Isabel falls, a thought occurs, Saint wasn't the first. How many has he killed? The main character is horrified. Suddenly, the main character is blasted backwards by an unseen force, screaming out in pain. The impact is intense. As he falls, the main character wonders what's going on. Flame Emperor steps on him, saying, "My foot." The main character screams in pain as he is crushed under Flame Emperor's boot. His face is filled with terror. The main character is on the ground, begging for his life. Flame Emperor asks if he saw what happened as he smiles down at him, amused. Flame Emperor questions the main character, who is desperately claiming he saw nothing at all. Flame Emperor grabs the main character by the collar, sneering that he almost believed him. He demands answers. Flame Emperor's questions echo in the main character's room. Sent you. Black Dragon 2. Flame Emperor uses his lie detector skill. He wonders aloud if the main character has anything left to say. Flame Emperor questions his own lie detector skill's accuracy. He wonders if he killed only on suspicion. Flame Emperor grabs the main character's neck. Hey, what kind of person do you think I am? Flame Emperor asks how the main character knows, but then proclaims that he has a way. Flame Emperor thinks he's innocent. Flame Emperor pats the main character's head. The main character says, "Thank you for believing me." Flame Emperor stands above the main character with a fiery aura. He coldly declares, "But you still did see everything, so just die." As he dies, the main character exclaims that he doesn't want to die this way. As the main character dies, a message pops up. Skill requirements met. The screen shows that he is copying the skill of Yusuha completely. The screen prompts him to select a skill card. If I had another chance, just one more. A screen says selection complete, and then copying skill, the main character is dead. The cover for Chapter 20 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter has been released. Chaos erupts on the battlefield as the Empire's forces clash with an overwhelming enemy. A soldier shouts, "Do not back down." A hail of arrows rains down on the battlefield as warriors fight to survive. The characters are shocked. A tutorial is over once you pass the 10th floor of the tower. It's only going to get harder. A desperate plea echoes, "Please help us and save the Empire. The fort is humanity's last lifeline." Someone shouts in disbelief about a demon king's existence and asks about the Egypt Empire. A warrior shouts about reading the quest as well. Someone asks if they clear the quest while another isn't sure about the details. The fight starts. The fighters yell about goblins and how many they have killed for years. Destroy them. The system welcomes Kim Gong-ya. He has cleared the 10th floor and a reward is coming. Kim Gong-ya has cleared the 10th floor and a new world awaits him. Kim Gong-ya smirks, anticipating special privileges. He has cleared a hidden stage. Kim Gong-ya is shocked as a screen appears offering him a blessing. The merchant god's blessing is upon you. The system displays more information. The Demon King quest is between floor 11 and 20. An old man with white hair is slashing with his sword, killing goblins. Another person stands with an army. Someone says, "Or lead an army yourself." Someone asks about leading an army and another choice. The fighter replies, "Of course not." Kim Gong-ya sees his skills. Now he has a talent to make. Someone calls Flame Emperor a little shit. Kim Gong-ya proclaims that this is a skill-based game, pulling up the NPC list. He says, "Show only the NPCs on the 11th floor." From the NPCs with skill, show the top 100. Flame Emperor replies he's not embarrassed at all. Kim Gong-ya wants to show the location of the top 3 on the map. Kim Gong-ya orders the system to show his location on the map. Kim Gong-ya wonders how this works. He thinks this privilege is based on how he uses his wit. Someone calls it cheap. Kim Gong-ya thinks being cheap is a skill. He sees the closest NPC, Commander Sarba's Ejim. The armored warrior is surprised to see Kim Gong-ya. "Warrior from another world, what is your business?" The NPC yells for Gong-ya to run, calling him a scammer. The commander begs him to kill him. Commander Ejim, bewildered by Gong-ya's presence, wonders aloud, "Huh." Kim Gong-ya declares a secret ability that activates upon death. The commander wonders what kind of blessing it is. Commander Ejim says that he can't kill a warrior. "I'll kill myself." Commander Ejim doesn't want to die by a monster or his own hand. Commander Ejim prepares to strike himself with his sword. "I will at least." Kim Gong-ya is prepared to meet his end as Ejim thanks him. Ejim asks for Gong-ya's name. Commander Ejim calls Gong-ya's name, thanking him on behalf of the Empire. Chapter 21 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter is now upon us. Gong-ya's secret ability activates upon death, granting him the battlefield insight skill. A voice declares the power of an ability. Gong-ya is told to go straight and wipe out monsters along the way. He understands. Soldiers on horseback charge forward, believing that their goddess's hero will protect them. Goblins swarm the soldiers, but their leader is confident. He uses his skill to direct the charge towards the enemy's weak point. Thanks to the minimap and his knowledge from repeating this day, goblins fly. Gongya holds up Lifanta Ejim's holy sword of protection. It's a legendary item. The holy sword of the founder, legend says a goddess gifted it to Ejim's founder. A prophecy is spoken, the one yielding the holy sword shall arrive. God has not abandoned the empire, they hailed their hero. Leading the charge, Gongya and the knights begin their assault as he shouts, "Attack." Gongya declares the sight is good. Someone angrily replies asking if it's worth it. He traded for trash. The other hunter argues that it's just a hard, shiny sword and questions his decision to pick it. Gongya explains his choice. Gongya says, "Do you get it? NPCs aren't just tools that give out quests." The soldiers cheer for their hero. However, others wonder why he is the only one with the general. The sword master questions Gongya using aura for listening instead of training swordsmanship. Gongya replies he does what he wants. With a grin, Gongya confidently points the holy sword forward. He is determined. The soldiers and knights rush into battle chanting, "Follow the general, follow the hero." The goblins realize Gongya is commanding the Empire's army. They are shocked. The floor boss is bewildered. The Goblin Emperor Gagoruk commands his troops to stop Gongya and the Empire's army. Gagoruk shouts, commanding his goblins to charge. He wants to stop Gongya and the Empire's forces. Despite the Goblin Emperor's command, a goblin uses the skill Goblin High Society. The goblins using Goblin High Society exclaim they're different now. They're prestigious goblins. The soldiers cheer, claiming they defeated the evil monsters. Long live the Ejim Empire. The goblins roar in response to Gagoruk's command, ready for battle. Gongya readies the holy sword, pondering his next move. Suddenly others appear. The goblins declared their specialty was solo hunting and to kill everyone. However, the stage is cleared. The system declares they cleared floor 11 in a single day. People celebrate and agree they are too strong. The system announces the top 10 participants in the raid contribution rankings. People react in surprise. People realize Gongya cleared floor 11. Someone scoffs, declaring him a smartass wimp, not a hidden master. The sword master refuses to admit Gongya's genius strategy. He calls him this ghost as Gongya smirks, valuing abilities over skills. Gongya promises to practice his swordsmanship before clearing floor 20. The sword master asks, "Really?" Gongya mocks the sword master, saying he should be begging to learn swordsmanship from him. "Too easy," he declares. Gongya notes that the tower is a bit different from the sword master's world. He adds, "It's easy to make this ghost happy." The armored guard says it was nothing, they won because of everyone's hard work. Then he is confused about something. A voice speaks of a prophecy. One day the demon army will arrive. The armored guard doubts heroes will fight for a world that isn't their own. He is skeptical. Commander Sarbaz states it was an old man's worry. He wants to give thanks. Commander Sarbaz says he has great expectations for Gongya. Gongya replies, "I'll try my best." The system indicates the assessment is complete and is rewarding top contributors. The system announces the top contributors will get early entry to floor 12. Other participants are barred until rewards are given. As the rewards are being distributed, a system message bans others from floor 12. The cover art reveals the title of the series, SSS Class Suicide Hunter Chapter 22. A voice wonders if only the top 10 will be summoned as heroes. Gongya says not to worry, the worst thing that can happen is dying. A transfer is now complete. Kim Gongya finds himself in a grand palace. He wonders, is this Ejim Empire's palace? Oh ho. A voice echoes, praising Kim Gongya's performance as the heretic inquisitor. He appears younger. Kim Gongya responds, confirming the sword's origin. He acknowledges it's a reward from floor 10. The younger Gongya compliments his older self, praising his clever use of the floor reward. The older Gongya laughs it off, feigning modesty. The holy technique, God of Flesh, clashes with the younger Gongya's attack. Gongya exclaims, "What a surprise, Sword Saint!" As a blade is pointed at him, Sword Saint replies, "Move aside." The Sword Saint, eyes filled with resolve, declares, "I will be killing that man." Someone questions if that man refers to Hunter Kim Gongya. Confirmation follows. The Sword Saint threatens to cut off arms. Isabel replies, stating she has a lot of uses for her arm. Someone asks why they are targeting Kim Gongya. The man responds, I have no obligation to tell you. A holy technique, God of teleportation, activates. The Sword Saint and Isabel appear in another location. The Sword Saint roars, striking with incredible speed and force at his target. The Sword Saint unleashes a flurry of attacks, muttering, damn pesky fruit flies. Someone remarks on the Sword Saint's health and youthfulness despite his age. Chunwoon clan master retorts, mocking the Sword Saint's age. Someone wonders aloud if that thing is on their team. Chen Mumun urges focus. The armor indicates a strategic disadvantage. The man wonders, with Isabel looking onward with a smile. The man confidently states it's true as it stands. Arthur Taylor begs Countess for 10k gold. Countess fans herself, offering a loan with 15% compound interest. I didn't ask to borrow. The Countess is visibly annoyed at the audacity of Kim Gongya. He's even more of a nasty thief than me. Countess raises her arms triumphantly, exclaiming, thank you for the payment. She then stares with an unsettling gaze. A holy technique, God of Donation, buffs Paladin and Viper for 300 seconds. The Paladin, now supercharged, declares gold shall grasp our hands, as he activates another holy technique. The buff activates. Paladin and Chunwoon clan master become significantly stronger for 300 seconds. Countess suggests they test if his death or her bankruptcy comes first. She seriously asks why her money is being dragged into this. The woman declares she will join the fight. Someone questions Kim Gongya's agreement. Currently, Kim Gongya has the same qualifications as a guild master for all 5 guilds. Yep, therefore Sword Saint. The woman warns that pointing a sword at Gongya is like pointing at them. A man questions if he can face them all. The Sword Saint asks if he remembers the words spoken on floor 11. Gongya asks him, what words? The Sword Saint is ready to fight an army alone. The next panel shows he has another option, leading an army. The narrator comments that a solo player is powerless against a mighty alliance. Sir Sword Saint. Kim Gongya proposes a conversation, surprising the Sword Saint, who is shocked. He doesn't know why they are attacking him. The Sword Saint isn't convinced by Gongya's offer for a conversation. The Sword Saint still thinks Gongya is an assassin from the Black Dragon Guild. The Sword Saint acknowledges Gongya's skill, though with biting words. He is considered an exceptional assassin. The chapter ends with scheming together, promising future strategy. This is the cover page for Chapter 23 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter. An old man remarks that the outside world and Babylon aren't different. An old man is rejected from joining a guild. She asks if he knows why, radiating a threatening aura. He thinks that in the tower, people can rise above worldly concerns. The old man yells about talent, effort, and delivering hopes. He calls them stagnant, moldy mudwater. The girl is angered by his statement. The girl retorts back, scolding Gramps for not helping with tower raids. The girl exclaims that if they are stagnant, then the old man is childish and irresponsible. She demands responsibility. A tense silence fills the room as Gramps questions if they see him as their actual grandfather. An angered Gramps yells to cut the crap and fight with swords. NPCs from the 11th floor gather to save their country. Hunter Kim Gongya, this is more serious than you. The man understands but questions if they should clear floor 12 first. Act better. Kim Gongya questions that even if they're NPCs, they say their nation is collapsing. The man in the suit calls them insolent, but the knight agrees they must clear floor 11. Someone questions if they should call him Paladin. Why did Sword Saint attack Gongya? The knight says she'll make a small sacrifice, telling everyone to watch closely. As the knight says to watch closely, the lie detection skill is being activated. It is a rank A skill. The man explains he has an ability to discern lies. He is vice captain. The knight declares that trusting her will guarantee the truth. Vice captain notes that truth is the antidote to suspicion. Gongya agrees, trusting the lie detection to clear their suspicions. The vice captain acknowledges Paladin, noting she's the only one who hasn't harmed anyone. He puts his faith in her too. The vice captain asserts his honor, trusting the truth for answers from Kim Gong-ya. The vice captain questions if it's true he has murdered over 4,000 people. Kim Gong-ya simply replies, yes. The vice captain yells at the group, accusing them of using Gong-ya as an assassin, but it's false. Kim Gong-ya admitted to the murders, but vice captain knows it was a lie. The vice captain asks if there are any more questions. Paladin wonders how one person could kill so many. The old man claims they raised Gong-ya to be an assassin. He doubles down on the statement, but it's a lie. Vice captain exclaims he misjudged Paladin and thought she wouldn't lie. He questions if she's going back on her word. Someone exclaims it's impossible Gong-ya hasn't killed anyone. Gong-ya admits he only killed one person. Vice captain asserts that murder is wrong but the victim deserved it. He says it's the truth. The vice captain is shocked, realizing Gong-ya tried to kill him. He's also a mass murderer, but the old man says they are all the truth. Paladin laughs, revealing that yesterday was the first time meeting Gong-ya. Gramps sighs heavily, as if he knew this would happen. Kim Gong-ya declares he's answered all their questions. The vice captain claims there was a misunderstanding on both sides. Gong-ya states he's glad it was a misunderstanding, but asks what if guildmasters didn't protect him. The man is asked what if the guildmasters didn't protect him, their suits are visible. The man states he needs an apology. Down below, Gramps is asked for his opinion on the matter. The cover of Chapter 24 shows the main character surrounded by skill cards. An old man demands an apology from Gong-ya, calling him Sword Saint. Sword Saint claims he speaks the complete truth, and Gong-ya is in the wrong. Sword Saint stutters, seemingly ready to accuse Gong-ya. How will Gong-ya react to this accusation? Sword Saint accuses everyone of conspiring against him. He reveals a skill card, Eyes of a Detective. It's perfect evidence. The vice captain holds his sword. He calmly answers, yes, sir. Sword Saint thinks Gong-ya might silence him like the Sword Emperor. He questions if Gong-ya truly never massacred innocent people. Sword Saint states he will decide what kind of person he is. He apologizes. Sword Saint admits he was wrong and made an assumption. It almost made him kill someone lightly. Sword Saint admits that until now, he killed based on his own beliefs. The old swordsman declares words are useless, offering to fulfill any desire. Sword Saint begs Gong-ya to spare him from death, so he can climb to the top of the tower. He pleaded to the inexperienced hunter. Sword Saint apologizes, promising not to kill based on his skill again. He repeats his words that they are all truth. The vice captain then calls him Sir Sword Saint. The Sword Saint begs Gong-ya to teach him the sword. Now he requests duels whenever he wants. He reflects on his promise. Partnering with Sword Saint would bring growth. He wants duels. Sword Saint apologizes, asking to try again. He admits he could forgive Gong-ya without payment. Sword Saint still wishes to avoid being targeted as an enemy of Gong-ya. He feels shame for giving him so easily. The Sword Saint requests Gong-ya to teach him his best sword technique. He is incredibly embarrassed. The vice captain is speechless. Sword Saint proclaims that his words were all the truth. Gong-ya wonders if he's serious. Sword Saint, arms crossed, wonders if Gong-ya is serious about his intentions. The Sword Saint is surprised to see Kim Gong-ya after so long. Another is amazed by the sight. Sword Saint praises earnest apologies, stating they are a holy miracle. Gong-ya tells him to shut up. The Countess laments her wasted gold. Sword Saint declares he misunderstood Kim Gong-ya. He then asks if he wants a duel partner. Sword Saint grabs Gong-ya's hand, requesting to be called Grandpa Marcus. Gong-ya is surprised at this sudden request. Pardon. The Sword Saint makes a deal: if she ever enters, he'll sell her charms. Sword Saint is surprised that Gong-ya is not interested in his granddaughter. Gong-ya awkwardly apologizes, avoiding the topic entirely. Sword Saint is strangling Gong-ya, calling him a boomer geezer who doesn't listen. Sword Saint insists he'll take care of Gong-ya, starting with a new suit. Gong-ya contemplates restarting the day by killing himself. A screen announces floor 11 clear rewards. Sword Saint knows a tailor. A screen prompts Gong-ya to pick from 2 rewards. What powerful boons await him on the other side? The screen displays the rewards: Goddess of Protection, This I've heard of. The screen now displays the special classes available on floor 12. What awaits? Kim Gong-ya realizes that before, his rewards were terrible. Now, a Demon King's reward appears before him. The screen details, kill all top 10 heroes except yourself. Gong-ya responds, what? Sword Saint questions why Gong-ya is suddenly staring off into space. Gong-ya thinks he could clear floor 99 by killing everyone. Gong-ya must choose a reward, Goddess of Protection or the Demon King's offer. SSS Class Suicide Hunter, Chapter 25 begins now with Asura scans. The system presents Kim Gong-ya with 2 rewards, but he declares, it's a trap. Kim Gong-ya knows it's a trap and warns, zombie, don't fall for it. He muses that Flame Emperor would take the Demon King's reward. But to be honest, the Demon King's reward does look tempting to Gong-ya after all. Gong-ya thinks maybe dying to the floor 99 boss wouldn't be so bad. A voice says, Gong-ya, don't do it. Look at me, I'm the Sword Emperor, I failed on the 99th floor. He is told that he cannot kill the top 10 rankers or clear floor 99. The Sword Emperor warns Gong-ya that taking the Demon King's reward is a trap. Gong-ya replies, just what is it? The Sword Emperor's voice echoes, promising automatic floor 99 clearance. But Gong-ya is silent before declaring, all right, we're throwing this run. He says he'll only take the safest routes and ignore the rewards for now. Kim Gong-ya expresses relief that he doesn't have to wait any longer for the quest. Confused, Gong-ya sees the system notification. It informs him that he didn't select a stage reward. The Goddess of Protection questions Gong-ya's choice as the Demon King laughs. Someone asks, what did you do? He wonders if avoiding the Demon King's reward was unnecessary. Gramps' concern is appreciated. He chooses the Goddess of Protection's reward. Gong-ya declares he will take the Grandmaster of the Ejim Empire's reward. The knights pledge allegiance to the strongest swordsman. Knights stand guard, the vice captain realizes, so this is how the roles are decided. Someone asks him. Gong-ya declares that he has no idea what's happening. The vice captain raises his hand and shouts, no need to worry. He tells everyone to pay attention. The vice captain questions if this is really happening on the 99th floor. This is. The woman declares it's just like the Mafia game. The man explains they'll call Goddess of Protection pickers knights and Demon King pickers traitors. The vice captain says they can tell who the traitor is. He also adds the game is skewed towards the knights. Hunter Kim's choice seems unnecessary. People are choosing roles. We pledge allegiance to the highest flag of the empire. A system message appears stating, reward distribution has ended. A character wonders, you sure this? Someone questions if this is all a bit much. Kim Gong-ya is sure of his choice. A system message confirms a reward forfeited by one person. Then, the goddess's reward has been received. A final message declares 8 people are left. The vice captain's game seems to be spreading among others, adding more chaos. A system message announces that one person chose the Demon King's reward. She's furious. She yells, I told you. The woman states it's a surprise he'd pick the Demon King's reward given the odds. Another says, ah, fuck. Someone feels chills, predicting heads will roll. They recall darker times for guilds. A system message appears wishing everyone luck. It warns, don't miss a single person. Chapter 26 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter begins, brought to you by Reaper Scans. The Master of the Black Dragons vows painful death to whoever betrayed them. Paladin is ordered to use lie detection on everyone. Gong-ya declares his innocence. The Paladin asks if he chose the Demon King's reward. Gong-ya bluntly answers no. The Paladin confirms the lie detection result. It's the truth. Sword Saint denies taking the Demon King's reward. The little girl, scared, claims she wants to avoid death by the Black Dragon Master. A furious man also proclaims his innocence. The Paladin states that all previous answers are true. He now asks the Black Dragon Master about the Demon King's reward. The Paladin confirms that the Black Dragon Master isn't the traitor. Who is it? The Goddess of Protection is saddened while the Demon King laughs hysterically. Someone shouts, do not panic. The Paladin considers skills that hide lies or multiple personalities. Someone shouts, demanding to know if they are being accused. The master of the Black Dragons agrees. He argues the paladin could be lying for the guild's sake. Someone objects, claiming they could be the traitor. The paladin urges everyone to stay calm and trust each other. Someone sarcastically calls him pure. It took the top guilds 10 years to reach the point of cooperation. In other words, trusting is difficult. The paladin yells to wait. This isn't the time for efficiency. He begs the heretic interrogator to hear him out, looking panicked. The paladin uses his holy technique, God of Flesh. Viper is commanded to deal with Holy Knight. The paladin yells holy technique, God of Teleportation, as he lunges at Viper with incredible speed. The Black Dragon Master yells, calling everyone filthy youngsters, revealing their true colors. The paladin activates holy technique with a dazzling light. Viper is dying. The system notifies one hero has died. The system states that he wasn't the Demon King's agent. The paladin says, none of the three were it. The paladin turns, stating he told the others to wait. The traitor is among them. The paladin angrily declares he pleaded for them to wait and keep their cool. What a strange request, says the vice captain. The paladin strikes Viper using God of Teleportation, impaling him with a sword. Got him it. The paladin is told to give a warning before killing someone next time. He apologizes, saying he needs both hands. Saint is falling, asking if he's the problem. An armored guard screams for help, trusting Gongya's judgment. A voice booms. The only one who passed on the reward is 100% not the traitor. Someone begs others to stop the sword saint, but to no avail. Someone states that democracy isn't the best option and to give power to a trusted member. Gongya wonders if he's a psychopath magnet. Now he's got full authority. Gongya expresses feeling bad for the three innocent guys. The system displays a notification, you have not selected a stage reward. He decides to return. The falling body is seen as the man thinks, he killed them all. Someone thinks he might get caught in this mess. Gongya gives Sword Saint authority. Gongya yells at everyone to listen to him, reminding them that they bowed earlier to him. He says, let's talk this out. The Black Dragon Master says he'll ask Gongya's granddaughter out if she enters the tower. The Black Dragon Master says he hasn't forgiven them. He won't pause the fight to hear anyone out, kill them later. The Black Dragon Master wonders if it's over. Someone says to stay calm and that finding the traitor isn't the main thing. Someone asks how it's possible to resolve the crisis without finding the traitor. He worries about the Demon King's reward. Someone proposes they shouldn't focus on finding the traitor, it's a trap. They suggest the traitor cowers in fear. Someone suggests to kick the Demon King's butt. If they kill him, reward disappears, simple. This is the cover for Chapter 27 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter. A system message appears, a quest for Floor 12 is given. Gongya stares down with a sword in hand. The world shifts as the protagonist's eyes widen in shock. He may not be ready for Floor 12. The rain of nightmare begins to fall. We're doomed, it's the Demon King. Gongya questions if this is all an act with the NPCs. The quest has finally begun. The text confirms the Demon King of Autumn Rain has manifested. Gongya stands defiantly before the Demon King. A haunting voice echoes, "Oh, you poor souls." The Demon King mocks them. Did they think heroes can be used as shields? The Demon King calls the heroes foolish. A system notification rings, marking the start of a new game. Suddenly, a resounding boom. The Demon King declares, "May you be swallowed by your own evil." The system displays a new quest. Defend the Empire's capital at ASSS difficulty. An NPC questions the Demon King is weakened as a horde of monsters is summoned by the Demon King. That's weakened. The heroes question the difficulty of the quest. Is it even possible to clear this floor? Someone shouts that it's too difficult, but a confident voice silences them. A man orders, "So lead the royal bodyguards." A woman declares to rally the NPCs for battle. People argue that they shouldn't fight each other during a war, they must defend the nation. Roger that. The others recognize Gongya as the great general. "Yep, that's me," he affirms with a wave. Another hunter grits his teeth, expressing his hatred. "We need the general." The Demon King laughs, amused. He tells Gongya to listen, having full authority now. Soldiers are disheartened. The Demon King declares that if the Empire's capital is breached, all is over. An NPC vows to defend it with her life. Someone shouts, "Then I'll head out first." They question if the rain is acid. Someone calls out Kim Gongya. Another questions which Nim. Black Dragon Master says she doesn't like her title. A man questions her sudden appearance. She explains, "That's my skill, teleportation." Someone asks why she is not at the castle. She says it should be obvious. Gongya is confused. The Black Dragon Master states it is a restriction of her skill. Gongya thinks teleportation should be at least S rank. He finds it odd as she said he's the Empire's Chancellor. The woman asks, is it strange for the Chancellor to use her trump card? Gongya says, I consent. She says there's one more restriction. With a burst of power, they teleport away. The NPCs are scared, realizing this is the end. They are no different than real people. Please take pity on us. With a thud, they arrive. Thank you for bringing me here, starting with this. She says. Someone yells, wait. Her eyes glow with power as she commands, soldiers of the Ejim Empire, stand forth. The Demon King questions if stone walls can protect them. You are the wall. They cry, it's the Chancellor. The soldiers are told that as long as they stand, the Empire shall not fall. The citizens are told to take up arms and fight for the Ejim Empire. The soldiers must not give up. The goddess of protection shows gratitude towards their decision. Soon, it is used up. The scene ends with a somber panel showing soldiers ready to fight. The latest chapter of SSS-class Suicide Hunter is out, delving deeper into the tower. He's called a true hero, but the trauma of his enemies is being relived. But when it did, crimson rain fell upon the battlefield. A voice echoes, calling them pitiful ones. Where crimson rain fell, blood followed, painting the battlefield in a morbid hue. Humans are born to eat up other humans. The knight shouts to retreat to an area where the rain doesn't fall. The history of humanity became smaller. They believe their fate is sealed. It's over, this is the end. The rain falls while the people scream for their king to save them. The scribes accept their fate, writing humanity's end with old quills. And so humanity came to extinction. The voice of the Demon King echoes, calling them pitiful ones, master of nightmare. Above, the title reads Demon King, while rain pierces the sky on floor 12. The rain stops and soldiers praise the goddess for protecting the empire. Ooh, dear goddess. Above the falling rain, Gongya remarks, this power wasn't even something amazing. The rain stopped where the holy sword's light shined. I survived. The people believe their leaders have abandoned them but still cry out, God hasn't abandoned us. The knights berate her actions in front of the Chancellor, ordering the guards to grab their spears properly. Phew, she sighs, finding herself back with Gongya. Gongya asks why she is staring at him. She retorts, is this the first time seeing someone from Ukraine make a speech? Isabel remarks that she learned to put on a good speech from them. She is asked what they will do from now on, as she responds that they should hold the enemy off at the castle walls. He acknowledges the S-rank skill of the Black Dragon Master, teleportation, but it's risky to teleport directly to the demon. Isabel states if the Demon King breaks through, she will need to be teleported to him, saying she is like a special force. But Gongya declares his intent to win. Death is not defeat to him. He has a hidden ace. The Demon King mocks their futile struggles, addressing the goddess with disdain. Light means nothing to the doomed. The Demon King says those who care for the pitiful become pitiful. Gongya declares that he'll show his light. Crimson rain continues to fall. Soldiers are sent flying in the wake of the Demon King's assault. The notification appears, one warrior has died. The crimson rain continues to fall. The announcement states they are not the pawn of the Demon King. It directs toward the throne room. The Countess and Black Dragon Lord are mentioned. That person was not the traitor, she proclaims in the crimson rain. I want you to die first. Black Dragon Master is in disbelief. If Countess really died, that means they are now connected with the outside world. The Demon King's army changes formations. Isabel wonders if they're trying to break through the lines. Gongya agrees with her concern. The Black Dragon Master grips Gongya's hand, uttering teleport, as they prepare to be moved. With Black Dragon Master's teleport, Gongya is in the front line of the battlefield. he realizes he is alone. Gongya yells out, "Hey, zombie," to himself. He vows to hold them back. Gongya takes a potion, reflecting on the nature of heroism in this dire situation. Be a hero, the text says. Gongya is reminded of his promise to teach swordsmanship till floor 20. It's time for a practical lesson. With newfound clarity, Gongya sees two goblins at the front, their vision obscured by dust and poor eyesight. Now look ahead. Gongya knows that the key to winning is not absolute time but relative speed. "Let's go, partner," he declares. Against the crimson rain, Gongya declares, "And my blade will be slightly faster." Gongya effortlessly defeats another goblin. "That's one, take care of the one to your left next." The sword master reminds him to connect his strikes like a symphony. The sword master emphasizes the need for fluid sword movements. Only a novice can control the flow for a second. "Don't lose control over time," the sword master's words echo as Gongya continues fighting. 10 seconds have passed. Gongya faces a towering orc. A thought strikes him. Gongya wonders why the tower gave an X-rank skill to someone like him. Gongya wonders if the X-rank was given to the psychopath. He wonders if he needs to be cruel to climb the tower. He scoffs as if. Gongya declares he will clear floor 20 instead of the Flame Emperor. He vows to even clear floor 100, channeling the sword master's teachings. Gongya's sword glows crimson. A notification reads, "Your existence becomes better defined." The tower acknowledges his progress. Gongya has leveled up. He is now a D-rank hunter. Congrats. That was 30 seconds. A message flashes, "May fortune be with you." Gongya faces more enemies. Gongya moves with newfound skill, cutting through the goblin ranks. "That was fantastic," the sword master praises him. The sword master smiles, pleased with Gongya's progress. "My name is Marcus Callenberry, young man." Yusuha's last words echo, "My name is Yusuha, farewell." Gongya realizes, "I have become different as well." Flashing back, Gongya states with a sinister smile, "My name is Kim Gongya, sir." The sword saint's spirit declares, "Let us fight together, young man." Kim Gongya prepares to fight, sword in hand. More reinforcements arrive on the scene saying, "Sorry for being late, ahhhhhh. I could have arrived sooner," he thinks, but leading troops was harder. "This is an order from the great general, everyone." The troops charge forward in response. "Do not falter, the goddess is on our side," soldiers cry amidst the clash. The man with an eye patch says it took a while to bring guild members. Kim Gongya prepares to fight, the man stating he'll show him why they're called the Celestial Martial Clan. Someone wonders if he's immersed. The one-eyed man, now named Lyaofen, addresses Gongya. "You saved my life in the royal chamber." Lyaofen says to only look forward as he will watch his left. "I'll protect you." The soldier states he's late as the emperor already committed suicide by drinking poison. "That's fine, join the battle," a man replies. "Of course," the armored soldier says. Hunter Kim Gongya." "Don't bother him, he's enjoying his precious time," someone says as Gongya faces a horde. "You poor things." A mysterious, dark figure speaks. "Did you think you own the time you were given?" A dark entity questions their reliance on others, demanding they prove themselves. "That shall be just fine," it replies with, "Show me." The dark figure demands the witch put up the mirrors. She says she's already on it, scatter. A flurry of strikes cuts through the air. Gongya faces an onslaught. He's shouting. As Kim Gongya dashes, the sounds of Sword Saint, Viper, echo around him. The Black Dragon Master shouts, "Nice," preparing to teleport the group to the Demon King. Teleportation magic activates with the Black Dragon Master yelling, "Grab on." Another voice cries, "Kim Gongya." Kim Gongya faces a dark entity as it declares, "If you don't come, we'll leave you behind." An older gentleman is moved by Gongya's kindness. "These people won't remember anything that happened," says another. However, the red-haired man calls out to Gongya, "Hey partner, it's time to bring down the boss, you goof." Kim Gongya says let's go as hands meet with a somber expression. "Okay, teleport." With renewed resolve, Gongya believes he'll be a bit stronger and do better. A dark figure looms, stating how interesting. "Are you the goddess's heroes? I made you all aware of a traitor amongst yourselves," a menacing voice echoed. Kim Gongya, don't, I'm sorry. Gongya reaches for the mysterious figure, a regretful look on his face. The dark figure tells Gongya to meet again in the next life, calling him foolish. Gongya tightens his grip, a fiery determination burning in his eyes. I came here to die to you, fucker. The screen reads, you have died. The chapter starts, showing the main character ready for whatever comes next. He wakes up in his studio, confused. How did he get back home? He checks his phone and sees that the Flame Emperor is trending. In a recent interview, he demands people use his real name. He remembers dying to the Flame Emperor's skill. He definitely felt something go into his hand. A skill card appears before him. It is the I want to become you skill, ranked S+. He can't believe it. Did he really copy Flame Emperor's skill? A new card appears. Returner's Clockwork Watch, X rank. He exclaims that he returned with all his memories and abilities, shocked. The Flame Emperor smirks, confident, stating he has ways of figuring things out. He knows Saint would have poisoned him. He grits his teeth, me too, even though I'm innocent. The TV interview starts. Flame Emperor states that those who succeed are fine, but getting in his way will result in death. The main character's eyes widen, shocked by the statement. He looks at his hand as the skill card appears. Let's see who dies this time. Suddenly outside the building, fire explodes into the sky. Holy, what do we do? Smoke fills the apartment building. People shout and scramble with buckets to put out the spreading fire. The city outside looks the same, filled with aspiring hunters. It is called the first floor. A bystander yells in disbelief, no way is it already, as people flee. He checks his phone, it's the same time as when he was drinking. Flame Emperor is covering his tracks. The Black Witch, leader of the Black Dragon Guild, ensures the perimeter is secure, but survivors still remain inside. Rank 10 Hunter Holy Knight is unbothered. The area has been deserted for 5 years. People flee the burning building as someone shouts for water ability users. Isabel is seen with the Flame Emperor often. She thinks, I don't like that man, I have a bad feeling about him. People react to the sudden burst of fire, exclaiming, wow, damn. Flame Emperor arrives at the scene of the fire, remarking, who's playing with fire without my permission? Flame Emperor arrives to find people welcoming him. Someone tells him the slums are on fire, begging for help. Flame Emperor walks past as people are talking about him. Some call him a psychopath. The Flame Emperor walks down the street as people take pictures of him. I do not do community service. Later. The main character clenches his fist, thinking, only I know the true face of that murderer. People scream as the fires rage around them. The clock turns back, however. The fires engulf him as a message appears, you have died. He is sent back in time using Returner's Clockwork Watch skill, Babylon Breaking. He wakes up in his messy room to a pop-up screen that displays his current hunter rank, F. The system informs him that there were no penalties for using the skill. He thinks, even if I get lucky. He looks at an interview with the Flame Emperor and thinks, this is his skill anyways. Flame Emperor talks about the past, the summer when I was 21, he seems to remember well. The scene flashes back to 11 years ago, June 7th. He needs to die 40-50 times. He holds his hand tightly, thinking to defeat that bastard before he awakens. The main character lays on the ground, eyes wide open, you have died. This is Chapter 30 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter, available on Reaper scans. Kim Gongya considers the implications, randomly copying Demon King of the Autumn Rain's skills. Why him? The Demon King asks to read the skills. Kim Gongya happily agrees to listen. The text declares the ignorant shall be shown how many have died. Flame Emperor Yu Suha conquered floor 10. The newly acquired skill is called Echoes of a Crying Heart, an A+ rank. It feeds off your emotions. Every floor has a hidden quest, so floor 12 isn't an exception. Here's the next skill. Gongya sees 3 skills that have caught his eye from the Goblin King. Gongya declares, I'm going to go with this one. The Demon King expresses skepticism, but Gongya assures him it's the best, at least until floor 20. Gongya chooses the Sword Emperor's skill. The Demon King's surprised. He says Gongya knows too much about Sword Saint's routine. Kim Gongya has a plan for everything, including knowing Sword Saint's dinner schedule. Sure, the system replies, skill copying is complete. The Demon King asks if he's leaving already. Gongya replies, saying floor 11 is opening soon. The Demon King wants to know how he's preparing without knowing the challenges. Floor 11 is simple, but floor 12, he wonders. The Demon King worries about Gongya. He says he doesn't look good at all. Gongya reveals he knows the situation and the quest for floor 11. He also knows how to clear floor 10. The Demon King agrees with a condition. He'll ask a favor in the future. The Demon King asks if he wants life or money. He can even reject it after hearing the favor. And with this, clearing floor 11 has become much easier than before. Gongya bids farewell to Paladin as she simply replies with a yes. He then asks the vice captain for a walk. Gongya replies that he was about to leave as well. 30 minutes will be enough. She says, I want to clear a floor too. People are talking. The vice captain is frustrated, asking how nobody knows about the person who cleared floor 10. Suddenly, he hears a voice. Hey zombie, he's following you. The vice captain confirms but warns that the old man has stealth skills. Almost flawless. Gongya reveals he realized something. It'll be too late to negotiate with Sword Saint on floor 12. Gongya realizes he can automatically turn the guild masters into enemies. Add a traitor, game over. The armored guard asks Kim Gongya where they are headed. Gongya answers, from here on out there's only the slums. Gongya mentions a shop he'd like to introduce to Paladin. He's been baiting Sword Saint. Paladin is unaware of what Gongya is talking about. A store. Paladin asks if he's telling the truth. He responds, of course, wondering why he would lie. The vice captain speaks, if anything, I'll be the one in danger. As they arrive at the location, the store owner happily greets them. Ah, a customer. The store is closed for the day, but you're always welcome. The store owner asks who Paladin is. The vice captain says she's Paladin. Gongya thinks that Paladin's arrival should be a normal reaction for any hunter. The store owner gasps, terrified, and prostrates himself. Gongya takes back what he said about anything being normal with a The store owner is told he is skilled but doesn't have enough business. He's offered an introduction to the vice captain. He also mentioned he could supply the vigilante corps. She calls him an angel. The hero interrupts. Excuse me, except for that man, I would like everyone to step out. It's time to start Chapter 4 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter. The shattering sound fills the air as the main character is back at his studio again. A clock marks the time. The protagonist sits on his bed looking around the room. He seems to be back in his studio, safe and sound. He declares it worked. As he clutches a sword, he's back before Flame Emperor's legend. He sighs, the clock ticking rings in his ear. He died way more times than he planned. He smiles with malice, holding the sword. The trials I endured. The floorboards creak. With a sword in hand, he strides towards the door. He smirks under his hoodie. Now to find my prey, he thinks menacingly. The clock strikes 11 a.m. as he stares out the window at the apartment. He wakes up with a groan, head pounding. I shouldn't have drank so much, he thinks, scrolling through his phone. He remembers replaying this day 10 times for the perfect execution, much to his dismay. He thinks angrily, when do I get to live like the Sword King? He gripes that he can't just win the lottery or gain an S-rank skill. He slices and dices, but you don't get to have that future, he declares. He looks down at his bloodied hands, realizing he did it again. Another death. He declares that he is going to the 6th floor, ready to hunt something other than slimes. A hunter hears someone call out to them, Hey Hunternim, please help. Covered in blood, the hunter begs for a potion, claiming he was attacked by wolves. A man asks if he touched the monsters. The hunter says that today's hunt is over, ignoring the bloodied man's pleas. The bloodied hunter demands a potion price. The other hunter retorts that he's already broke for the day. The hunter pushes his sword through the bloodied man. You look like you're dying and you can only pay 20. He smirks, demanding everything the bloodied hunter has. I knew he was this kind of person, he thinks. He slashes the bloodied hunter, counting his earnings. How are you this poor, he scoffs. The bloodied hunter is grabbed and declares, that's all I have. The hunter relents, thinking it's just how life is, don't you think? He looks down on the dying hunter who begs for a potion. He thinks, "I've been thinking," he remembers impaling the man. "If I let you go, you might come back for revenge later." He slashes the bloodied hunter, asking regret, before declaring, "So why don't you go ahead and die?" The hunter attacks someone. "I'll live with no regrets after this," the man declares before dying. Ah, damn. He recalls the clash of swords as he fights another hunter. He grits his teeth. He pants, covered in blood. "I can't let a life-threatening incident trigger your awakening, so," he thinks, striking his sword again. He viciously strikes with his sword, declaring, "I'll make sure you're gone." Another body drops and he breathes heavily. "Despite you killing me, something was weird about that time. Why tell me your name?" A memory of the hunter flashes as he stands face to face with someone. "How dare you?" the person yells. He looks back at the forest. He's being watched by two big wolves with red eyes. The hunter asks if the wolves want to eat this guy. "Go right ahead." Suddenly, the wolves surround him, growling menacingly. He sees the hunter's bloody hand clench the dirt, finally succumbing to death. His backpack lies abandoned on the ground as he relives another death. He's getting tired of repeating this day. The protagonist zips up his jacket, preparing for what he has to do. He thinks to himself, to the first floor. Is it really over? Time to go to the first floor city. The protagonist comes face to face with a knight. It's a vigilante. The knight calls out in surprise as the protagonist heads down the path. It's over. Meanwhile, news outlets speak about how Flame Emperor Yusuha's legend is no longer in this world. Someone shouts for more beer. In town, the hunter celebrates his successful hunt with a drink. Yeah, it did. Chapter 5 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter begins here, brought to you by Asura Scans. The main character believes the current greatest hunter must have an S-rank skill. He thinks his skill is weird, but he prefers something offensive. Waits, if I die to any hunter, will I copy their skill, even the rank 1? Being chained to a clock, he muses that he can't even die. Then the main character confidently declares, "I could definitely do this." Online, people discuss the missing Sword King. Some say he's from a rich family. But the posts online are all rumors. No one seems to know anything real. The man angrily says to him to shut his mouth. He comments that from the beginning he was. He states that this surprised him. The old man asks if he understands him. The main character realizes the old man talks to himself. The main character sees a warning from 8 months ago about the Sword King on his phone. The warning is chilling. The old man states that a few days ago, high-ranking hunters picked a fight with him. The old man's comment about his personality causes someone to ask if Sword King killed someone. People online think this author is spreading rumors for a big guild. Someone says to never mention Sword King's grandchildren. As he scrolls through his phone, it says, "A word you can never say to him." He leaves some coins as thanks for the drink and leaves the bar. Finally relieved, the old man thinks Sword King is gone. He's grateful to be rid of him. The bell rings, signaling the change. He looks up to the night sky. Where are you, rank 1? The main character wonders what kind of skill the Sword King possesses. He smirks, confident that Sword King's skill will be his soon. Around here should be good, he says. Hiding behind a tree, the main character is shocked. Sword King says, "Come out now, youngster." He thinks no one will know. Sword King steps forward in the forest. "Excuse me, I have a request." He's surprised Sword King knew he was following him. "Ah, so you pretended to be tailing me." Confused by the comment, the main character says, "Sorry, but I'm not following." Sword King replies, "You disgust me." Sword King comments on the main character's poor acting. Sir, please, I'm just curious." Sword King's hand tightens on his sword, glaring. "Shut your mouth, I have quite a few skills." The Sword King's skill shows how many people he's killed. "I had a reason." He thinks that Sword King probably sees a one above his head right now. Begging to be heard, he pleads, "But please hear me out, I had a good reason." Sword King calls him disgusting. For a demon who's killed so many, he thinks. Sword King states that he wouldn't dare put value on the main character's life. The main character shouts that he's only ever killed one person. Sword King asks if he feels no shame for lying. Sword King states that the amount of people he killed is above his head, 4091. Sword King blade in hand says I for killing you Suha, and the cover shows the main character with an intense look as chapter 6 begins. The main character swings his sword, a sound of striking metal rings out. The main character dodges the attack. The older man smiles, impressed by his agility. The main character is floored, his opponent lands a kick. He thinks, is this old man deaf? The main character is sent flying, crashing into the forest with a loud thud. Coughing, the main character lies on the ground. He thinks, I was lucky. The old man raises his sword under the moonlight. He thinks he can't dodge this. The old man demands silence, suggesting they capture and interrogate the main character. The old man says that interference is not necessary. The main character thinks he's crazy. Perhaps the old man used telepathy. The main character recalls skills like that exist in the world. The main character realizes is the old man sharing his info. A number appears, 4091. The main character narrates his plan, become a wanted man executed in Babylon Plaza. Seeing the crowd in Babylon Plaza in his mind, he shouts, I can't let that happen. He resolves himself, I have to die now before 24 hours pass, old man. The old man continues, you may be the teacher. Then he asks, are your grandchildren doing fine? He remembers the old man's words, thinking, if they are your blood. The main character looks at the moon and thinks, was it always upside down? Lying on the ground, he looks up at the moon and says, it's beautiful. He admits that he didn't even see Sword Saint's attack. He's extremely jealous. The main character still on the ground thinks, I want that attack. The system announces a skill card is being created. He will have powerful skills. He yells about gold, ready to get a skill card like the Flame Emperor. He wonders what is happening as skill cards begin to appear around him. Skill cards appear around the main character. He pauses, wondering, wait, I'm supposed to believe this. The screen shows a title card, The Legend Before the Flame Emperor Marcus Callenberry. He recalls the legend, reaching the top with no S-rank skill, unbelievable. He realizes that it must be a very strong skill. He sees some silver cards and a gold card. I'm going to ignore the shit, he says. He understands the odds are 1 in 4, thinking silver cards are kill count level. He extends his hand, crying out, I don't want that, I need an op skill. A bright flash surrounds him as he desperately reaches out for the cards. The main character suddenly wakes up in his bed, shouting in disbelief. With the hunter ability page open, he wonders if an op skill is here. Lying on the bed, he realizes it's not a kill count skill either. This is the cover for Chapter 7 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter. Old man, I told you I am your teacher. He tries to leave quietly, but the saint restrains him. The main character wakes up annoyed. No reason to wake me up, you know. He then looks up to see a strange man. Someone asks if he can be seen and then heard. The main character replies yes. The saint questions why they are talking if he isn't seen or heard. The main character is confused by the saint's question. The saint questions if he means Marcus Callenberry, the sword saint. He should be here. He thinks the saint must be a beginner. Meanwhile, the saint struggles with tiny windows and asks what the. Above, it details that the sword master skill is A+ rank. Below, the main character asks if he is the spirit for the sword saint. He is confused but realizes what he did. I'm sorry, but I think I copied you. The sword master is furious, screaming, return me to that old man this instant. The sword master yells that the main character should cancel the skill. The sword master continues screaming about Marcus's failures and mistreatment of him. The sword master begs to live quietly, but the main character is already dead. The sword master yells for him to die quietly. The sword master screams, angry that he is being told to die again. A man tells him to be quiet and to shut his mouth. The main character sighs. He has to hide from the sword saint forever. The sword master asks to hide from him too. He knows not to mention the sword king's grandchildren. He also knows the saint has a skill to see kill counts. The main character notes that his kill count is 4091. The sword master is furious. The sword master insults the main character. You're totally a beginner. He questions how he killed so many people. He came back to the moment right before Flame Emperor woke up. Killing himself for 11 years worth of days, the Sword Master seems shocked by this revelation. The Sword Master asks the main character what his name is. The main character replies, it's Kim Gong-ya. He realizes the skill comes with the Sword Master. I need to be strong. Kim Gong-ya states that he can be seen because of the skill card. The Sword Master tells him to stand up. The men holding him note that Kim Gong-ya has good ambitions and resolve. He questions their intentions. The Sword Master states with this kind of title, then calls Kim Gong-ya to show him how to hunt monsters. Kim Gong-ya looks at the monsters and questions if he should attack them. The Sword Master replies affirmatively. Then, Kim Gong-ya slashes at the monster with the energy of the Sword Master. The monster dissolves immediately. The energy from the Sword Master explodes outwards. Kim Gong-ya thinks to himself, realizing how strong the power he now wields is. He prepares for the next attack. The Sword Master's energy surges. It cuts through the monster like butter with immense speed and strength. Kim Gong-ya thinks his intuition was correct. The Sword Master has incredible power. Kim Gong-ya wonders if it was just intuition. The Sword Master states he was once called Sword Emperor. It was another world. The Sword Master explains he cleared his tower up to the 99th floor. Kim Gong-ya is amazed. The Sword Master says that the talents of a hunter are why he asked to see him hunt. The Sword Master sees Kim Gong-ya's fighting style and asks if he has no fear of death. Kim Gong-ya says dying 4,000 times probably pushed that fear away from him. Above, the hardest talent is to beat the fear of death, a great achievement. Suddenly a hand reaches for Kim Gong-ya. The Sword Master realizes no one has ever called him talented, not even himself. Chapter 8 begins in SSS class Suicide Hunter, a world of hunters and towers. A voice booms, yelling at Gong-ya to wake up. Gong-ya replies, thinking he has 5 more minutes. The voice yells that Sword King might be clearing the 10th floor. The voice shouts, do you even know what time it is? The caller grabs Gong-ya and yells, it's still 4 a.m. you crazy asshole. The red-haired man is upset as he says, even bugs start crawling at 4 a.m. The red-haired man argues he only wakes up because of his own sleep problems. Now he understands why Sword Saint trains at 4 a.m. The red-haired man wants Gong-ya to bow. Gong-ya mutters, I want to kill you. The red-haired man laughs, saying he can't die, suggesting Gong-ya try dying himself. Now his name is Zombie Kim. Zombie Kim floats as Gong-ya runs away from him in a panic. Zombie Kim continues to lecture Gong-ya, criticizing his lack of talent and inability to learn the basics. It's been 4 days since Gong-ya copied the Sword Throne skill from Sword Saint. Zombie Kim says Gong-ya is a bottomless black hole of potential. He's jealous. Zombie Kim smirks, suggesting they go win the lottery together. A guild called Sangryan, or Merchants Union, is being introduced. The guild master is the rank 3 hunter Countess. The panel declares Countess is the only one who can trade with the outside world. Because of Countess' skill, Sangryan had a monopoly on the tower's economy. Gong-ya tells someone he came to collect his lottery winnings from Sangryan. The attendant, dressed in cat ears, says you can't redeem a ticket that you bought more than 2 years ago. He's bought lottery tickets before. His sword spirit wants some starting capital funds. The attendant stares wide-eyed at the ticket. FL, he starts to say, staring at the Sangryan Happiness Lottery prize amount, 53,000 gold. Gong-ya seems to have won the lottery. Everyone is shocked, wondering first place. The cat-eared attendant says, yeah, take your time. Gong-ya thinks back to his lottery skill use. Arthur Taylor, the Sangryan manager, appears saying, thank you for waiting. The man with cat ears introduces himself as Safekeeper and asks to be called that. Safekeeper states that Gong-ya is a ranker if he uses an alias. Zombie Kim says Gong-ya is impressed too easily, never having received attention before. The manager, Arthur Taylor, looms, saying just believe everyone exists for you to step on. Gong-ya says he explains he was just spacing out for a second. Arthur is relieved, he's glad nobody bothered him. Gong-ya sheds a single tear, thinking winning the lottery was so easy. Arthur leads Gong-ya into the VIP room, saying this is the prize that you won. The cat-tiered attendant confirms 53,000 gold. This is $5 million where Gongya came from. Gongya thinks he can live comfortably for the rest of his life with this money. Gongya decides to reign over the tower as a hunter. Money is just a small step. Gongya stands still, his hands glowing. He seems to be activating a skill. Gongya thinks he's seen more beautiful gold. Arthur says it's wise to keep it safe. Gongya walks towards the gold, saying he will buy an honorary guild member title. Arthur Taylor confirms it takes 10,000 gold to become an honorary guild member. Gongya says he will pay up front. Zombie Kim says, "You're smarter than I thought. A guild isn't just a friend group. The main reason hunters join is." The narrator states the guards and hunter association aren't enough to control the city. The Flame Emperor and Sword Saint had recently killed him. He muses that they never paid protection fees. Arthur asks for one more thing. Gongya says he's willing to do anything. Arthur Taylor agrees, asking to be known as such if news asks about Gongya. The cat-tiered attendant seems to mutter agreement. Arthur and the cat-tiered attendant laugh at Gongya. Arthur says, "You're very prepared, sir." Arthur muses Gongya was thought to be a pushover, but preparation is needed in such a world. Arthur replies, "You're correct, sir." Zombie Kim adds, "That dumbass emperor." Arthur smiles, replying, "Man, you look pretty happy too." He says, "It's only just beginning." Gongya's hand glows with golden light. The text says, "It's time to enjoy it." Chapter 9 of SSS Class Suicide Hunter is here with brand new content. The Sword Master reminds Gongya that tuition is the most important part of the lessons, and it's now been paid. He asks what's next. The Sword Master scoffs at Gongya's comment, stating that he's standing right here. It's shameless. The Sword Master presents textbooks, scrolls for martial arts and potions for physical abilities. But at Gongya's level, he can't learn from scrolls. Only potions, extremely good ones, will help him progress. The Sword Master asks how good the potion needs to be for Gongya's level. The Sword Master directs Gongya to a store, but he worries about the price. The Sword Master leans in close and whispers something shocking. Gongya is visibly surprised by what he hears. Gongya is shocked. He calculates he can only afford a few bottles. The Sword Master tells him to stop complaining. The Sword Master suddenly grabs Gongya and begins dragging him towards the potion store. "Ah, slow down," Gongya shouts. Suddenly the Sword Master stops in his tracks, telling Gongya to hide. Sword Master reveals he forgot to mention something as Gongya looks confused. Suddenly coming to a stop, the Sword Master tells Gongya that he had forgotten something. Gongya is frustrated, exclaiming why the Sword Master didn't say it sooner. Gongya, clearly annoyed, shouts at the Sword Master for springing surprises on him. Gongya hides behind a box and covers his mouth, looking up worried. Gongya, panicking, realizes getting caught would be a huge problem for him. The Sword Master walks away from Gongya, leaving him in a state of utter panic. Gongya's mind races with worry. Gongya hides behind a trash can and realizes the Sword Master is Gramps. The Sword Master thinks someone is here to clear out all the potions. He shouts at Gongya to follow him. The Sword Master is hit with a force. While he shouts, Gongya is shocked seeing Gramps sent flying. Gramps is shocked. "We were too late, what should we do?" he exclaims. The Sword Master believes that using the same shop as Sword Saint is too risky. The Sword Master checks his phone, saying his target isn't even in the top 300. Gongya complains he doesn't think he has to spend as much as the Sword Master said. Gongya, still peeking out, hears Gramps say they can get the potions cheap. The Sword Master knows a pretty good alchemist deeper in the slums. The man inside complains about the noise. Sword Master steps on a puddle of water. The Sword Master wonders if a good alchemist really lives in a place like this. The Sword Master scoffs, doubting that a genius alchemist would live in such a place. "All right, don't believe me then." Gongya thinks about what people would say if they knew how much he has. The Sword Master yells, "Hey zombie, do you know how to get there, right?" Someone begs for their equipment back as the Sword Master remarks they are at the right place. The man says Sword Master is behind half a year's worth of payments. The green-haired alchemist is being robbed. Gongya is in shock, he's got to stop this. The green-haired alchemist pushes the cart with a man on top. Many potions remain. He grumbles about the crazy alchemist. The robber kicks her off her cart, telling her to find a new career. She cries out as she falls. The green-haired alchemist worries that the store was always going to go bankrupt. The green-haired alchemist yells that her potions are the best in Babylon. Ignoring the fallen alchemist, a group of people walk past. She begs them to buy her strength potion. Swordmaster wonders if the once-in-a-generation genius is a loser. The Swordmaster shouts at Gongya if he's blind as he sees the alchemist on the ground. The green-haired alchemist sniffs. Gongya is annoyed. "Excuse me," he says. The alchemist, though disheveled, asks if the Swordmaster is still open. The alchemist, still on the ground, hears someone asking for something expensive. The alchemist looks up with an expression of excitement, exclaiming she can make anything he needs. But how expensive is it? The alchemist pauses, thinking she could connect with high rankers. Gongya asks how much it costs, worried about the price of the potion.